I'm Tom Hammock, writer.
I'm Megan Hutchison, illustrator.
We created a graphic novel called An Aurora Grimeon Story, O the Wisp. We set the story in the Atchafalaya Swamp in Southern Louisiana. The graphic novel is about young Aurora Grimeon, and her parents quite suddenly die from mushroom poisoning. So she's sent to live with her estranged grandfather on a mystical place called Ossuary Isle, which is this cemetery island deep in the southern swamps. There she meets this incredible cast of characters, including her grandfather's pet raccoon, Missy. Over the course of the story, Aurora learns about hoodoo, and she puts all of her skills to the test to solve this mystery that's plaguing the island and defeat the bad guys.
What we thought was so special about Aurora is that, well, she's young, she's a young girl, but she uses her brain and her abilities and her relationships to solve the problem instead of, fighting or using weapons. We thought that that was really important, that we had like a female protagonist that was strong in her head and her heart instead of with her fists.
Hoodoo, as opposed to voodoo, is a folk magic practice from the southern United States, a practice of folklore and tradition that comes from West Africa, Northern Europe, and Native Americans sort of all blended in together. And my father grew up in that area and grew up with a lot of these traditions. Will-o'-the-wisps are actually really cool, eerie phenomenon where decaying matter within the swamp lets off these little bubbles of gas, and the gas gets lit by lightning or whatever it is, and then you have this glowing blue flame that floats along sort of 3 or 4 feet off the ground. And eventually it burns out as the gas gets used up. I grew up with this legend from my father that it's not just a natural phenomenon, that it's actually this little piece of hell being carried along by an evil man, and that's why you can see it in the distance, trying to lure travelers, unsuspecting children, off the paths and into the swamp where they later drown so we can keep collecting souls. So it's all tied up in this ghost story, and we explore some aspects of that. We're both production designers. We met in film school, and we work in film, basically drawing, building, designing, everything to do with how a film looks.
We have always wanted to do a project together that was like this, that was more of just our creative endeavor, so we came up with this project to do together.
Exactly, and it really allowed us to design something on a scale that we can't in independent film, to create a world on the scale of a massive blockbuster.
Filmmaking and comic books are really similar in as much as you are basically making a 2D movie on a page. So everything was kind of specifically tailored to have that cinematic look to it.
But it's really embodied in that area of Louisiana, and all the things that take place down there really inform the story in that way. I actually love thinking about the reader and Aurora being very similar, and as Aurora journeys to this incredible area and discovers it for the first time, the reader does too.